Hey there, welcome back, Shobham this side. Now from this section, let us start our journey with Django. Now the motive of this section is first to discuss the basic of Django, take it as a Django refresher. So we'll be talking about all the basic concept and lay the foundation of our project. The second thing is we will also discuss how to set up our project. So we'll be talking about folder structure, which code editor we are going to use, any extension that we need, and all the other stuff that we require for the current project. The third one, which is the most important one, that is how to send response in the form of JSON. So till now, if you have worked with Django, chances are you have worked with HTML and CSS file, you have worked with templates, but now we need to understand how to work with JSON. So we will understand how to send our response in the form of JSON, and you can also refer this as how to create API with Django. Remember, we are not going to use Django REST Framework in this section. Our main motive is to set up our project, understand the basic thing, and to send response with the help of JSON. From the next section, you will understand why we require Django REST Framework and how to work on a project with it. So let us start our journey. The first thing I recommend is to create a folder on your desktop. I have named it as TRF project. Just create it inside your desktop. Now here I'm going to work with my virtual environment as well as my project folder. Now if you're someone who is pretty new to the concept of virtual environment, let me quickly explain to you. So we have our system, and there are chances if you're working with Python you are installing tons of packages. Maybe you have already installed Django 1.8 or maybe 2.2 or any other version. There are chances that you have also installed Flask or maybe Pillow or maybe OpenCV or any other Python package. The chances are we are not going to require all these different type of package when we are working with our new project. So what we do is we create a virtual environment. That means I create a isolated environment in which I'm going to store everything that I require for my project related to Python. So that means if I'm going to create a virtual environment v1, I can install all the packages that I require for this particular project, maybe project A. So maybe I require Django 3.2, maybe I require Pillow library, or maybe I require any other package for this project A. That means I'm going to create this isolated environment and I'm going to store everything, that is every package inside it. Now no one else, no other project can access it. Maybe I'm going to work with another project. Maybe I have a client that requires 2.1, Django 2.1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this virtual environment 2, maybe for my project 2. And inside that I'm going to install all the packages that I require. Maybe Django 2.2 or 2.1, which is the required version, and maybe I require pandas for this project or maybe any other. So that means this will be a separate container that we are not going to touch, and this is only for project B. This one will be for project A. That's how we are going to proceed. So that means I can create a virtual environment and store everything related to my current project, and no other project is going to be affected by it. So if you have any package in your system, we are not going to touch it. We are not going to even check which packages are there. We are going to create a virtual environment and install all the Python package that we require. I know I have stretched this explanation pretty long, but this is pretty important for someone who don't have information about virtual environment. So the first thing I'm going to do is just open my terminal. And if you're using Windows, you can use CMD. Click here, use CMD. Okay, so now I have my CMD, and if you're using Linux or maybe you are using Mac, you can open your terminal. Now let me create my virtual environment. So all you have to do is use your command python -m, then venv, and then here you need to give your virtual environment name. You know, we can create multiple virtual environment for different projects. So for this project, I'm going to name it as, since it's a movie related project, I'm going to call it as menv. So this is going to be our virtual environment name, and this is the package that help us to create this virtual environment, which is already installed with our Python. So you don't need to install any other package. It's by default with Python. Just use python -m venv and then your virtual environment name. If you look behind this cmd, if you look this menv, this is our virtual environment folder. Now let me activate it. So all I have to do is use my menv, and this is the Windows command. If you want for Linux or Mac, just look here. /script/activate. Make sure to keep this slash in mind, and then S is capital, slash, and then A is small. Enter. So now our virtual environment is activated. You can look here. If you compare the difference between the previous lines and this one, you can see here our virtual environment is activated. And if you want to check, you can just do pip freeze to see if we have installed any Python package till now. You see we haven't installed anything, but if I try to do cmd here again, now this is our unactivated version. So we haven't done anything with virtual environment here. If I do pip freeze right now, you can see I have all these packages already in my system, but I don't require them for my Django project. So I don't need to carry them even in my deployment. That's why we use virtual environment to create a fresh environment, and currently we have 0 packages installed. Now the next thing we need to do is install Django. Don't install right away. First let me visit the official website, and here we need to discuss few things. Just visit djangoproject.com. On your homepage, go to download option, and here install the latest version. Whatever the latest version is, just install that. Pip install Django, and whichever the latest version is. Remember, this is option 1. And if you just scroll down a bit, you will see which one is better for you. At currently 3.1 is the latest version, but I think by the time you are watching this, if you see 3.2 here, just install that 3.2 version. I'm currently using 3.2, so don't worry. Make sure whichever the version here is, just install that. If you have any type of confusion, just use pip install Django and it will automatically install the latest version. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use the alpha version, but make sure you install this whichever the updated version is. That's done. Now we have installed Django, and I'm currently using 3.2 alpha, but make sure you install whichever the version which is written here. Pip install Django. Currently it is 3.1.6. And don't worry, 3.1 and 3.2 are totally fine, and you can use them till mid of 2024, which is pretty great for any LTS version. Remember, LTS refers to long-term support. That means most of the company prefer LTS version, and they are going to receive all type of updates regarding security as well as development. So make sure you prefer 3.1 or 3.2. That's it. Now our Django is installed. Let me also update this pip. That's done. Now let me do pip freeze once again to see what type of packages now we have in our virtual environment. So let me try to do pip freeze again. Here you can see now we have some packages. We have Django 3.2, then we have PyTZ, that is Python time zone, then we have SQL parse. So we got some packages. And the last time that we did here pip freeze, we had no packages. So I hope you got the idea why we are using virtual environment. The second thing is, it's important for you to have a code editor. I'm going to utilize Visual Studio Code. So you can use any other code editor if you are familiar with PyCharm, if you are familiar with Atom, but I strongly recommend VS Code because it's quite popular nowadays, and we are also going to use several extensions. So just open VS Studio Code, just install it. It's simple software that is available on Windows, Linux as well as Mac. Just install it. Open your VS Code. After installation, there is no any special setting. You just need to open VS Code. Once that is done, we are going to open our project in a while. But that's it. You don't have to do anything special right now. Now that's the basic setup. In the next lecture, let us prepare our project. That is how we are going to work with these folder, and also talk about our extension, which is tab 9. I hope this lecture was helpful. From the next lecture, let us start our journey with the project. Thank you for following, and I see you guys in the next one.